a very, very close defeat.
Lias as well. Lias, thank you so much for the prime. Appreciate the 2 months, dude. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Okay, dude. Fnatic have just realized that this guy's unbelievable at pistols. They started raid bossing him. Boaster takes the hit, drops him a gun.
Very different story. Then you add in momentum. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah, the Battle Sage, it really was a treat to watch last time. We'll see if it's going to be the same again here.
Missed the Rust land, dude. I want to play some Rust again, man.
But it's Fnatic.
Jonas, if I'm ever back in America, we're playing Rust, man. It's happening.
Fishy watching that alongside Boo, and they'll find the opening pick as a result. They even suspect that he wasn't alone, but Crashies bides his time. Unfortunately, Alpha's isolated.
What?
He's still alive.
This is my fault because I said he's incredible at pistols, but that is a nut shot.
Does well though to find his one there. Still a disadvantage for Fnatic.
If Alpha's playing like this game is going to get so close. Because definitely, I'm feeling like we're getting a third map. Because again, when we saw Fnatic last time, they just didn't look good at this map, really. Which is, I mean, it's a rough map to be.
Pistols went their way in the last map. It got them that
rough map to be bad at.
Of a start. And well, maybe this one still has some legs in it. 2 quick kills.
Where has this hope come from? Oh, the stun perfect though. Chronicle gonna be caught out. Rian's the one to take him down, and now Crashies all alone. And they're lined up. The high-low setup almost isolates one. The shot's not quite landing. 4, 3, 2 bullets left, and he's out. The reload.
This is the hope of the round with those bullets just going lower and lower. There was a chance, but
at this point. Blue pulls it across the line with 1-0. It's the first pistol of the series for Heretics.
Nismo, hello. Is there any way to get pre-partnership VODs of games?
I'm actually quite excited to see Woot playing this Gecko as well.
No, honestly, that was one of the main reasons that I made the VOD channel in general, was because it was so hard to get it was so hard to get VODs back in the day. Like when I was coaching, it was so hard to get VODs. And I think there was a guy called Monkey. Was he called Monkey? I can't remember what he was called. But I think all of his VODs got taken down. He was like the only way I could find them.
A second ago, I said that it was a great
like pre-franchising VODs are pretty hard to find.
Wingman from down below that stunned him.
Crayon GG with the tier 1. Thank you for the 5 months, mate. Thank you for doing that as well. Rando Gen with the gifted also. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's 2-1 pistols at the moment, by the way. Lil Fat Ass with the 9 months. Thank you so much as well, mate. Appreciate it. The match has been good. Match has been good, mate. Thank you for asking. Yeah, don't give me the cat face. That's his name.
Hey, got confused.
Everyone wants to help out Woot. For Benji, you look back to his previous performance versus BBL, a 14-12 overtime, 26.
Jonas, for sure, man, for sure.
He has been in form.
Why, Jonas? Why have you said it like that? I'm interested to hear.
Alongside, of course. Okay. Yeah, just spam him out. That's fine. Both that wrecked. Not going to be able to do anything.
Yeah, let's see if they can get anything here.
And the rest of the team, Mitch, they're not particularly close.
No, they're not. Miles away, in fact. The weaponry certainly not favored for them. Post plan for Heretics set up well.
Striker as well. Striker CS, thank you so much, man.
If Benjamin Fish was going to be coming in from behind.
I mean, it wouldn't be a bad way to pick up even just that ghost, the advantage. Start to then box them in the post plan. But Heretics not quite so brazen in this one. It's 5 players.
Jonas, I'll see you soon, bro.
Late play from Rian's to wrap around, see if he can pick up. Because you're getting the sense here they're going to go down to the spike, right? He wants to get ahead of that. Find a couple of orbs for himself. Miniboo successfully lands an orb at least.
That's the rifle.
Indeed, the rifle, although it won't be recovered by the other side, it certainly won't be recovered by Heretics.
I think that was,
that
was the only Phantom that they had. So that kill was actually quite costly.
A little bit of damage.
A little bit irritating.
Lightning Bolt as well with the tier 1. Thank you so much for the 2 months. overdue fees for the train conductor. That's sick. Thank you so much.
Got him. That's criminal. That's criminal. Look how far.
Dude, how did it get him up there?
Outrageous.
Why is there no self-assist?
This is why Wingman is just not the guy.
I'd love it. Someone needs to edit that where the Wingman's eyes just goes red. Evil Wingman has entered the server. Heretics with a little help from a little friend. For now, though, Buy definitely has a piece or two missing. They're going to have dropped another gun over to Minibu.
Check out the big buy rounds.
Not having the best of times
I mean, the bonus is still nice. It's not super bad. Panap as well. Thank you so much for the 5 months. Thank you, thank you.
He's going to have a response. A 2-0 start. And while for Fnatic, this is sort of a must-win round. Otherwise, we could see Heretics just run away with it.
Two pass and fake over towards B. This is kind of interesting. It's a shame because as soon as see the turret off, as soon as any kind of pressure over towards B, and you see the turret's off, you know he's not defaulting over towards A.
Met some resistance, but Heretics I think are playing this.
Yes, it's looking like fake pressure over towards A with the pivot back towards B.
Players spotted, noise still
Dude, it might be pretty good this for Heretics. There's one molly that has stopped the plant.
Front yellow watched by Benji, back by Boo. It's not been abandoned completely.
30 seconds left.
There's a jiggle peek coming in through mid, and I think that with no execution of that,
it's all about this molly, I feel like. No, molly goes out early. Just wait a little bit for the wingman. Oh, they ain't stopping this plant. Yeah, this is a... Whoa, where's wingman going?
And instead it's
Wingman.
a slightly different plant, but wingman's been dropped 12 seconds.
What are the wingmans doing in this game?
To move forward and get somebody to try and plant that spike, and the fights are not going their way. Still yet to find a plant, and within the last second they're going to attempt it, but there are players peeking in. The plant will go down, but
what's wingman done there, bro? Why has he gone there? Dude, imagine they'd gone for the safe plant. They probably win this round. Would have been close at least. It might... Okay, so in actual reality, he is aiming to plant here. And I guess it's because they've maybe looked at this smoke after plant-wise. They've looked at their retake maybe, and they think their retake's too good. Or they're trying to, like, trade wingman here. I mean, they at least have 4 dueling.
Not even a fast lane committed.
10 seconds later, no one here. No, he's still here, guys. Come on.
They're freezing. But yeah, it was a good read, I think, as
Just
well.
reading off all of his damage. Okay, important rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, everyone basically. We've got 7 people that can't buy next. We've got Fischl into this one. Smoke to block pressure over towards middle. Molly took away the turret, so that one's coming back a little bit faster. At the same time, we got drone over towards here. We've got double holding for the push to break the turret, because they broke the turret last round.
Nano swarms.
That's interesting
Snake bite as well. It is a lot that can deny. And that's something that Heretics are going to have to be very wary about. Even having the wingman doesn't necessarily
Yeah, there we go. It's the difference between picking up the turret and it getting hit as well. Get that turret. So now they don't have to worry about the timing on middle anymore.
Can become tough.
Obviously a pretty intense read.
This is nice from Heretics as well. They spotted the turret, the smokes over towards the actual side itself. They might have some kind of read into this one. I'm not entirely sure, but they know they created pressure over towards yellow right now.
In the end, it doesn't really come through. You could consider what we just saw from Chronicle there.
Okay. Late push from Crashies. They lock them in, so they got to speed up on this. Fischl to take back a site. Dude, that's like...
That A side of the map, but luckily there's been a response. Again, the goal on this side is
Minibu's causing absolute chaos. Still no plant at the moment. Just got him before the ult hit. Double jaw.
A little bit further up behind, was hoping to force them forward, but with
the poor observer again, man. There's just 3 separate 1v1s.
They weren't too wary about it. Still looking to hold onto that backline. Kayak is the snake in the grass, the second layer.
Dude, this bait is heavy, man. Look at this bait. He waited for so long. No one's even considering it. Why would a Sage with wall be flanking behind?
And now even less so, looking for that retake, looking for the fight. Alpha, 8 HP. All hope may rest on Kayak's head, but manages to find one. Alpha buys that little bit of space.
Okay, nicely handled from Wu here. Holy.
As long as it needed to.
Very nicely handled. There's a good 1v2 from him. An important kill. Can't even be mad at Heretics really then. They like have good comms to work out that the wall's still here. Right, so they're all fighting like heavy over towards site because they know that wall plant's coming in. And they just don't expect the flank behind because of it.
Having a player push mid and then aggressively on A. It came down to the finest of margins. Really solid work from Wu.
Yeah, it's really good clutch from him. Also down to an eco as well.
I'd probably have favoured Fnatic there.
I want Erica's as well. Thank you so much for the 16 months. Appreciate the tier 1. Thank you for that.
Could have had so much more value, but
Dude, I always struggle with real name.
By Heretics, get them across the line. Pistols for Fnatic, a light buy across the
Okay,
board.
what the hell is this shot then?
Marshall in hand, the
Might have
biggest
been
investment.
incredible.
The stinger, I suppose, for that defense. It's managed to draw blood early. Still so much to worry about, and in particular, the outlaw in Miniboo's hands, a double barrel operator in effect, with nobody having heavy shields. Everyone is squishy. Everyone's a free kill, but he's got to land his shot, and now he's down to just 50.
Yeah, we'll get some of his health back. Live to fight another day, and Miniboo's being left behind.
Not
It's
even
mainly
considering
again
top
because
yellow?
this
I mean, sorry,
secondary
back
lurk,
yellow.
This additional player of Boo has taken a lot of space over on that A site. The problem, though, is that they are losing members. A 5 versus 3.
Can get weird because Rien's might have to use ult to even secure a
Now I'm
plant.
going to just try and slow them down as the full force of Fnatic looks to rotate into this side of the map.
This could be a strong start to the attacking side, but they're being chipped away at by Fnatic early on.
Keep an eye on Kayak again.
Chance remaining for the defensive side. An early flank yet again. Guess who it is? Kayak
What happened
wrapping
map
up
1?
behind,
Honestly,
hasn't
Fnatic
been
was way
spotted.
better on the map.
And there's presence being shown by Fnatic, but they haven't committed just yet. Those weaker weapons, hesitant to take the fight. Will Heretics worry about their back in time? No, they won't. Kayak strikes, picks off the first. They're managing to hold the line against the onslaught from Spawn. Kayak, the man with the rifle, buys time, grabs their attention, and Crashies takes them both out.
It's
with plenty of time for the
it's pretty
defuse,
nice, man. I
and
got
the
to see this
orb
Alpha
given
first kill.
towards that
Like, how does he
Armageddon.
open this one up?
Fnatic are back on the board with a pay safe card thrifty.
The I'll tell you what's interesting at the moment is the pure pressure of the Sage and the wall is making Heretics have to play so different to what they used to.
Well, firstly, that shot's just absurd.
Come on.
But the second they realize that Benji is gone, they go, okay, well, we can now flank. We can get him behind them without too many issues. And I do feel like that's happened a few times now, where Heretics are just a little bit too unaware that, okay, we've lost our Sentinel. We need to be aware of it.
So random, you don't know what you're gonna
100%
get.
with you there, Tom. I think that
750
is
private armor listed.
The biggest downfall
What
of
the
that attack
hell?
side in those 2 rounds we saw, the one that came close and this one here that fell, that
Wait,
crumbled.
let me just save that link.
Kayak's being allowed to wrap behind them. Benji going down early. We can't see that repeated too many more times.
E-Madness, thanks so much for the prime.
He's
Appreciate
also
the 2
being
months. Thank you for
targeted.
that.
I think that needs to be said because it's not just like, oh, Benji's having a bad game. Like, he's getting,
Yeah, the sheer pressure of the wall at the moment, if you look at all of Heretics after plants, they're so different to how they normally play.
Something that Heretics have to adapt to.
Yeah, it was the A push that managed to
Like,
find him earlier.
here
and then
fighting
just
on
a
site,
mid-hole. This time the push
wingman
from
plant
A is in
earlier.
Heretics' favor. They're running it down towards Kayak. No flank this time. He's dealt with after 1. And Heretics finding these close range 1v1s, XV1s in fact. They've managed to recover themselves some rifles. And look at the space on B.
Yeah, this has been another thing to talk about, is that the amount of space they've been able to get on B at times has been intentional, and there's been just util thrown in to delay. But this round was just a single rifle for the side of Heretics. And Miniboo's done incredibly well. Like, him and Benji both finding a pick, both getting rifles for Benji and Woot, and then the space that's been taken on the other side. Because it looks like an eco-direct hit into A, they now get the post
He
plant that's been eluding
didn't
them.
turn around.
And Fnatic now have to try and clear everything else that remains.
Man, Boo's been so patient. He waited in this corner with a classic.
He didn't turn around when planting. Is there not a safe way to defuse
In
this?
the end, he's forced back by this lockdown. Won't have his reward. Won't be able to get back into position either.
Dude, I think he can safe defuse this from the corner.
Buying that little bit more time. Oh, it's actually a little gap in it. They'll walk right past it, so a little bit more space taken. Boaster closer than expected already, wrapping around on yellow. Those recovered rifles now in with a chance. Alpha baits them into the open, takes down the double. Boaster with another, and the round falls into Fnatic's hand. Just about the wingman
Yeah, it's
working
close on that
hard
one.
to defuse that spike as they now equalize it in Fnatic's form,
sure.
3-3.
Yeah, really nice retake. That didn't look like it was going to go in their favor. But
Panap, thanks so much for the 5 gifted. Thank you for doing that, dude. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that.
It's a round where they fight from a,
Dude, this was all alpha though.
deficit to get back into
Just doing so
position.
much.
And probably the more worrying thing for the side of Heretics there.
This is Benji in my pocket. Fish.
Yeah, I was going to say the more worrying thing is the fact that 2
Eesh.
ultimates went through there for Heretics. So you start off the round, you're not going to
Sounded
put too
so
much
good in his
You go,
accent.
okay,
Panap
we'll
again,
invest
thank you so
into
much
that
for the
singular
gifted.
rifle, try and do
Thank
some
you, thank
damage.
you.
And And rightly so, when it got close, they go, okay, we'll use the Thrash, we'll use ourselves the lockdown, but then you still end up losing the round. So that cost has come up quite a bit more hefty, and even though the scoreline still sits 3-3, I think maybe getting some flashbacks to the last map where you had a decent start, it's looking good, and then Fnatic just start climbing back into the map, and for Heretics, you just can't really afford that right now.
Alpha's getting involved in some of those early fights, and you saw it there on the stage. We mentioned it in the first map as well. When he's getting confident, when he's smiling, when he's cracking jokes, that's when he's most dangerous. Had a phenomenal map going into the previous. And
when he's angry, he's
it's rough starts again for Heretics.
Say, like, I think it's only if you ever see him sad, that's when you're like, oh, he's gonna have a bad game. But I don't
and again, it's just Heretics. Sorry, it's just Fnatic looking a little better in the Byrons.
Set those early picks. It's allowed Kayak to wrap up behind in the important rounds and the big ones.
Kayak gets op out.
Two big teams when it comes to getting those early advantages. Something that Alpha has contributed heavily to so far in these first 6 rounds.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is when you look at the best teams in the world, you expect their 5v4 conversion to be very, very good. If that stat was bad, I think it would definitely be an anomaly for teams that have made it.
Selfish wall, or he's looking like he wants to selfish wall. Okay, yeah.
Here comes the TikTok plays.
This has been done and shown from them before, though.
Put into position, and you're not going to expect it. That mini who gone already. And there's not really anything he can do about that. You'd have to pre-fire every single angle on the map to find that kill.
The Sage, honestly, the Sage at the moment is causing Heretics an absolute nightmare.
Right? Just with the lack of Sage being put into play.
Like and it's not even just the Sage, it's the one ability of Sage. It's literally the wall.
To find the early advantage, Hunter's Fury thrown through. Chronicles desperately low, but he dodges both blasts that come his way. The op, although it's looking for the pick, it won't find Wingman. The plant in play. Crash. Oh, it's got a lot of space and forcing the fights as they're out in the open.
Oh, they're kind of getting they're getting so wrecked, by the way. It's a full Byrons, and then, I mean, this is a good example of what I was talking about, the fact that just on the Byrons they're getting so wrecked.
Like as the opponents, you take a tactical pause, you come in where you have an old.
Why did they fight so heavy here? Viper smoke, I guess.
Back into the game with the coaches, and then an in-zone flawless comes through seconds later. That's got to be a bit more of a backbreaker on the other side of things, because
wait, where is the Vibe smoke? I can't even see it there.
The way they wanted to, but you look at players like Kayak just thriving. Like we talked about this when it first came in. Like the Sage has always had its value in terms of that sort of like, okay, you could utilize the wall, you can have the slows to combine with other utility. But the AWPing Sage is not something I don't think we've seen that much of. Unless it's just
another
like,
low buy.
Hey guys,
another low buy.
Another
Bad start into the half of Fnatic, but they just end up recovering in Byrons.
The CNET Sage is basically still a jet.
Just like, I tried to dash and it didn't work. I accidentally pulled out my heel.
I mean, they're tailwalling, right, to get the plant?
Boaster's feeling jealous of his duo on the other side, picking off Benji.
Are they going to say, okay, into Viper or Tail or to stop plant? They might just wait for him to plant fast, I guess.
With the pistols, but their HP decaying down. Not too favorable.
It's one of the better Viper ults. I feel like the Viper ult these days, if you don't have this little cubby to hide in, you're kind of done for.
This even gets close, they have a res, like.
This one's interesting.
It's looking like a brutal scenario. I think you can see the defense maybe starting to question if they've gone back in the other direction, but Miniboot immediately falling. They do manage to get the plant down.
Yeah, Boss has done incredible though. Because normally, like when you do this ult, it has a side that's like weaker, but this one, it's like directly in the middle, but it doesn't give you much space to work with either side. And then it's not like he's actually sending it in or anything, they're just getting the info from it. Double push behind. Dude, Fnatic look really good, by the way. And I'm telling you, Heretics are having a rough time. They lost loads of rounds because of the Sage wall. And in this round, they don't know what to do against the Viper ult, to be honest. Because normally it like leaks out one side and then reactively you just plant into the other. But in this one, it's like, well, what do we do? We haven't seen this before.
5 out of the last 6 rounds going in their favor. This is now becoming an uphill battle for Heretics in a map that they absolutely must win.
Yeah, and then they just push behind because they're taking so long as well.
Maybe
Dude, they didn't even have to tail or anything.
Put them down because their group play.
They don't know what to do, bro. They actually don't know what to do.
No, they don't. He's not wrong.
Probably a little bit different, but
They're struggling.
It's like you see them play in the group stage.
They had no idea what to do against the Viper.
Heretics, 13-5, 13-10. Right now, after a 13-6 victory in the other direction.
Wait, is the whole floor? Oh my god, there's not many spaces to hide on this one. This is cool. Teo or Molly. Molly. Kind of fills it all up. You could maybe have a little timing here. That's cool, man. Dude, Fnatic. Give them an extra week and they come up with this much stuff. It's cool. They're insanely prepped. They knew this map was getting picked as well. Look how prepped they are.
That drone, that recon that could be used to clear out this position, the op in play for Kayak, lined up, waiting for an opportunity. And with 50 seconds on the clock, they're going to have to give that opportunity soon. The flash ready for Woot. Maybe that will push him back. If it doesn't, they may be in a 5v3 very soon.
And time also becomes an issue. 2 slows and the wall available. They're walking
nice shot.
Straight into that crosshair.
Still though. Nice done from Boaster. Wall goes in. They got the molly to make sure that no one else can flood back through. They know that they isolated it. This is a 2v4. That honestly, if Fnatic lost, they'd be kicking themselves. It's a great position from Wu at the moment.
Wu has found some space. Unexpected, not known, but Alfie.
Damn, bro. They look really good. What the hell? They look really, really good. Boast is insanely confident right now as well. And if you're looking at Heretics, they're shut down over towards B. Now they're trying A. They've been shut down over towards A. And when this happens on attack, it's a nightmare because you don't want to start going into middle because the mid stuff is, it has low success rate and it doesn't feel comfy. Yeah, look at this. I mean, they did mess this up slightly.
Just a little too far, the snake bite forcing him to be a little more cautious, but mistake made and quick reactions by Boaster to trade out Kayak after that opening pick. Indeed, a second pause coming into round 10. Heretics are fully panicking. They're in spiral.
Double timeout.
Boo currently 0 and 8. I wonder if that is just a product of things going wrong. Like
I think it's not even that. I think Boo's just like trying. He's like, there's a lot for him to think about at the moment, and he's focusing so much on like how to approach everything that he's not even focusing on his crosshair. I think.
They decide that it's worth fighting for, because right now they are tearing them apart. You mentioned Crashies. I feel like the toughest part of playing against him is that he's doing damage when you can't see him.
Boaster, like, it looks like
many a time about who the
in the
best
time off.
I think like
Fnatic came up with a lot of good stuff here.
In terms of just how many numbers he's going to put up individually. But I think if you're talking
it's a solid mix. Fnatic have some cool stuff, which I think that they like came up with. But then I'm also thinking that maybe Heretics haven't had much practice against a Sage, and it's hurting them a little bit.
It's just sublime. And then if you deal with everything else that's going on, you've got Kayak and Alfia who are just...
Wait, is that it? That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Oh, Benji's got the longest name in VCT EMEA. I think Serial's old name would have beaten that, but we'll leave that there. 6-3.
That's it. Everyone else has got shorter ones.
Wonderful to see them on this kind of form. Playoffs form indeed. Upper bracket. Final right now, and the grand final seemingly locked in. Big changes needed, but Heretics call a pause to seek out those answers.
I was gonna say, imagine he gets away here.
Punished quickly and cleanly.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. Just making sure that he's not going to get away with too much. Clearly feeling like those light shields are in play for Heretics.
Okay, so Fnatic on this one against their timeout. Like, look how different they're playing now as well. There's so much more aggro.
So the turret should give them that contact, but they've already spotted it. With how much space they've already managed to get, you can see that the Fnatic players are just waiting. They don't want to give the game away.
They're not going to wall this though, right? You could wall it.
Gonna let them fully
Wait, where's the wall gone?
so they can't turn back.
No,
Here
okay,
goes
they don't have
ult,
the
and
wall.
now the flank from
Okay,
Fnatic
now they
shows
know
its
that they're
full
pushing
hand.
behind them though.
Player
As
goes
soon
back to deal
as
with
the
him.
fish
There's
ult
actually two
goes, they
players on the
push
flank, and they
behind,
find
and
out
they're
the hard
so
way.
fast
Benji
here,
at
ready that
least
he gets
able to
caught
pick
using
off
fish
Chronicle.
ult.
The players now
And then
waiting on
they
site.
have
I
to
say
win this
players
duel
is
because
just
otherwise this
one.
guy's
It's
rezzing.
Boo,
And they
isolated.
still have no
He
plant, so
has
Kayak
managed
just
to
needs to stay
fly
alive.
under the radar, a free pick on Boaster and Alphayear. Here's the
Yeah,
round they
but
needed.
that was the
Even
play,
the
man. We got to see that one
lockdown
back.
committed and denied.
So they
Kayak,
needed something like
you've been
this.
sublime so
Nice shot.
far, but a little more
Res is
needed.
doable.
There's the pick and the res, and that brings them right back into the round.
And you finally managed to deal with Alphayear, and someone brings him back to life. Counter lockdown going to be put into play. The round so much more important than anything else. Alphayear actually looking to try and play ahead of it, and he'll be dealt with by
Mate, you got no
Riens.
time for this
Well,
one.
there's not a lot of time left. It won't matter.
It's still like the idea from
second pause,
Fnatic
but
though. I
there
feel
is a
like
response.
I don't know,
Solid
man. Let's see the
individual
Boo
round from
play.
Boo
Because
as
if he
well. I
doesn't
think
do
that's
this,
now
they're
him
done.
onto the scoreboard for the first time in this matchup, but it wins them around.
Yeah, it was a surprise play. It was him sneaking his way through, fitting that while he's busy leading the team and forgetting about his own individual performance, it is the cerebral play that gets him on that board. I was worried there in the end, Tom. My heart skipped a
okay.
beat. Seeing Kayak, 2 shots.
Yeah, good timing
Loaded
here.
into the Outlaw. 2 opponents, low HP, below that 140, and they both swing him. He had a chance, and he fired at them both. Neither shot landed. Heretics get themselves around as a result. Alpha, he's avoided a mesh
Yeah,
of
and we
bullets
said they
sent
might
his
start
way.
trying a little bit of middle because the
Heretics
sides weren't
finally back
working
on the
too
board,
well.
and it's not too late to finish this half on equal footing.
No, we've seen them versus both Vitality and Apex have incredibly clean defensive, 6-1 after getting enough rounds on that attack. So let's not pretend like this is over just because this half has been fairly firmly in Fnatic's favor. This A-site has been a struggle. A lot of it has come down to delay. The amount that can be slowed off nano swarms, snake bites, salvos. But they are a little bit earlier than what we've seen in a lot of other rounds.
I think they're very ready for it though. Look, there's 4 players already on this site, and they are trained in on that position now. As 2 fall, they think it'll be a
No
little
way.
bit more free.
I was gonna say, imagine Buster stays alive for this long. Woo
Left
committed to
foot
the...
just on the ropes,
Man, they're getting
literally.
so wrecked. It looks
Fnatic
impossible to
puts
go
Fnatic
B.
the 11th
And they're
round,
so...
7-4.
They're so on
A lead
top
at the
of
half
having
now
to fight
guaranteed.
heavy
The
over
question
towards
is,
B because of
how
the
big
wall.
will the lead
It
be?
just doesn't look...
Honestly,
It
their
just doesn't
B-side
look comfy.
defense is fantastic. Like, I'm genuinely enjoying seeing, because every time they're walking into this utility setup, but the goals change for Heretics each time. It's like, okay, this time we're going to try and get aggressive. We're going to try and play around it. And Bosa just puts a snake bite right in their path, so anybody that clips it gets stuck. Then behind that, you see the Mosh go in so that they can't stand in that ground anymore, forced into a new position. Then salvos come in as well. So it's just like, it's constantly having to
They go
shift
B
and
again.
move everywhere you're going.
I would kind of like to see them
And
play a
what are they doing
normal
now?
after
VSP?
plant,
So
but
it's like,
I get
it's
it.
not really much more
I
you
guess
can
they've
do.
looked at their retake.
Now,
The retake's too
there's a
strong
reason
for
you're
going
seeing
over
everybody
towards
here.
yellow. You have
You've got a
this,
Viper's Pit
and you have
alongside a
wall.
Hunter's Fury
But
to
the
work
retake
with.
on
The
B
pit
is
is
too good, so
amazing.
they have to
Look at
fight
the
in this
space they
area,
got
and they're
in the
just
previous
losing in
round.
this area.
Look how close
Maybe
they
because
got
they're
to
not
the
used to
site,
playing
as
like that in
Fnatic
practice.
didn't look for those early fights. Instead,
I think
waiting
they're
for
just
the
gonna
wall
take,
to
like, I
fall
think that's
and
gonna
taking
take
the battles
Snowman here
after.
though.
That means to Heretics, they can get in there. They can
Either
get
that, or maybe
pit
they
in
feel
play
like with the
and
ults
lock
they can
down
actually
that
hold the
control,
after plant here.
leaving their utility passively to cover their back from Killjoy. This could be a very dangerous round, and a couple of spams.
Why
The
did they
only
fight
thing
so heavy?
really
It's just purely
standing
because of the
in Heretics'
Sage.
way, and the fact that
It's
they
this
are
smoke
taking a long
that you just
time.
saw here,
I thought
and
by
it's
now we'd
the
already seen
Sage
them
wall.
in there, but they're waiting outside of B. I don't know if this is going to work the way they hope it will.
Okay, so
Fnatic
Heretics
still
take
have 4
map
players
control.
close by.
They create pressure here, but then they cut sound like they've gone back over towards here, and the wall
So having
recharges.
wingman as well,
What
that's
the
important.
hell is
Quick
that,
pick,
dude?
but still, all of that delay utility is in place. 30 seconds. Now the
30
Mosh comes
seconds.
through
They
as
still
well, but
gotta
having
go
to
up
just
against
wait out so
Salvo.
much
You got a
different pieces of
drone.
utility that a risk could do it all. Hunter's Fury
Dude,
thrown
honestly,
in to try
I
and
think that's
find some
okay.
damage as the wingman goes
Does
for the
Wingman
block.
tank this?
I don't know if it's
Nope.
gonna no, it's not. It's
15
failed. Now
seconds.
they're stuck again. They have to go pushing. They have to go
What a
moving.
shot
Mini
again.
Blue lands a
They're gonna
second
win.
shot,
They're gonna
but
win the round
Spike
just
has
because
been
Mini
keeping
Boo's
them in
hitting
the round, but
insane
there's a
shots.
swing. Spike dropped once again. With 7 seconds left.
Oh
All he has
god!
to do is try and
No
drop it
way,
one
okay,
more
they got
time,
both
but
the
he will
kills, they're
die.
both committed to
Spike
it, and you
was
can't
about to
really
begin.
be angry at them both
Your
committing
mind
just
skip a
because
beat.
Time's insanely low.
Get the job done.
Oh, they put the pit in eventually.
God, it didn't look fun for Heretics on this. My goodness.
Luckily, in the end, it falls into their favor, 7-5 at the halftime. Heretics
Dude,
have clawed their
I tell you what, though,
way
Fnatic,
back up to a close
yeah, Fnatic spend their time pretty well.
The second half, we'll see their defense. Somewhere we know that they're strong, but if they fail and falter here,
Is this the first successful round we saw him have on B?
One away.
Might
We'll
be.
find out how it goes after the break.
Struggle is real. The struggle is actually real on this one. Fnatic, dude, they should be happy with this. Like, if they win pistol, it's done. Prafru, thank you so much, Prafru. Thank you. Irrelevant to what's going on, but GE's chances for stage 2, they got a rough group, right? They can get some upsets because they can get some upsets mostly because I believe in MC. So, but do I think they can get into playoffs? It has to be like 4th, mate. It has to be like 4th seed, really. But maybe they can cook. MC's really good, man. And a good coach in this game can change so much. Bald Ghost with the Prime. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you. Favorite Pokemon is Cubone and Gengar. And I like Charmander as well, to be fair.
Welcome back,
I like my top 3.
7-5. Fnatic leading the charge and looking good on pistol rounds in this series. Heretics, well, they better hope they can connect another one here, as that early start on this map is really all that makes this a close affair. It was 3-1 in their favor, but Fnatic made a streak of rounds, bringing us up to this 7-5 halftime. But for Heretics, Tom, you alluded to it earlier, or well, not really alluded, you said it straight, and as it is, Heretics pretty good on the defense.
Yeah, at least in their victories versus Vitality and Apex, they were very
Fancy
good
Phoenix
on that
29 with the
defensive
Prime.
side.
Thanks so
And
much for
I
the
think
2 months, dude.
the
Thank you
difference,
for
though,
that.
today is that I think
Gets
Fnatic
to...
have done really
Oh,
well
no, you
to
got to
sort
speak
of
about this. Let's
disorientate
just
them
wait,
in
because
the
that stun is
market. Look at the
incredible.
immediate rundown. Heretics not feeling the burn just yet, as they will run it straight into their
Whoa,
opponents.
Boaster,
There's a
chill.
lot of counter-utility
Boaster.
being put into play, but
Relax,
still opportunities
man.
to try and fight this back, although has somehow managed to completely dodge that
Okay.
stun. He won't dodge
All
the
good.
bullets, and what was a great start
Dude, I thought he
quickly
was gonna
diminishes
mess it
into
up.
a Fnatic advantage.
I think we're going to see Chronicle having some stern words with Wingman after how it's gone for him in the pistol rounds. I don't know what's going on.
You stun me through a floor, and then you don't get him when he stood there.
You look him in the eyes and you say, I know you, I'll let you away with this one, you're my buddy. Well, a 3 versus 2, a good recovery by Fnatic, and they managed to find Benji coming up behind them. Not deal with him completely, make him a bit modest with 70 HP remaining. He'll back off. The world is Fnatic's oyster. For Team Heretics, they've got to gamble on where they think the hit's coming in.
Patient stuff. Not wanting to overface, not wanting to gamble.
Dude. Gotta be looking at the minimap thinking
30 seconds left.
Fnatic's
Available as well.
feeling great on this. They're gonna have the turret that watches behind as well. They got a free plant.
Towards the A site, which is completely open. Nobody
The
even
wingman as
remotely
well
close.
to make sure they can secure the free plant.
Eventually, the realization has to come through for the side of Heretics that they are on the wrong side of the map, and you mentioned
Turret's
how
still up this whole
critical
time. They know no one's
this
flanking
pistol will
behind.
have been. And now we look at Mini Boo and Benji and see what they can do with it.
When it comes to pistols, Heretics have usually been pretty good. But here, Fnatic definitely upping the challenge a little bit. This 3v2. Everyone tagged on that attacking side, but they've got the numbers. And the unknown factor, the positions having to be cleared, swinging out.
I mean, he hit a nice shot, but we end the pistols at 3-1.
Heretics have been pretty good.
Dude,
They're number 2 in the region,
I
right
don't
behind
even know how
BBL,
Heretics,
who
like
we
Heretics will
talked
have to
lot
do a
about
madness.
how
Someone's really
strong
got to
their
step up.
performances have been.
Not saying it
for
has to be
Fnatic
now,
step
but
up to the plate here, it is a big deal.
Didn't their pistol stats take a pretty big hit recently, though? Were they?
BBL, yeah.
They
Still
lost a
number
lot
1
of them.
though. Still number 1.
It says a lot about how good they've been in those sort of scenarios. We'll see if that continues.
What do you think is
later
going on with
today.
Heretics? Are they just
What's the qualification match still coming up? This one.
I don't want to say they overfought the Sage.
It's all about getting in towards that grand
They
final.
definitely struggled against the Sage. That is... Oh,
Damn, nice shot from
oh bro, he hit a good second shot as well here. That was nice shots, but they both kind of committed.
But the second and the third.
Damn, bro, is everyone just unbelievable with this gun?
Of his brother trying to do that little bit more. Some nice shots, but the round still looks favored. The man against them, though. Maybe the last man you'd want to come up against here.
He's up close.
Oh boy.
He's taking Crashy
Dude, the alarm
down.
bot's chasing him the whole way.
And makes it round the corner. Plant will come through. But a real chance now. Only the one swarm grenade in play. And Rienz, I like the idea.
It's
the big wrap around he's going for.
It's a good play from
Hoping
him.
to catch his
He's
opponent
here
off guard.
fast.
He may well catch him off guard. Look at where Alpha's
But
going.
honestly, Alpha clears
He's
so much
focused
of this.
on this path, on even it being a side push.
Oh
but
my
now
god, what a
he's
shot.
fired, and what a shot!
Holy bro, there's no way they did this. That's an incredible 1v2, first of all. But the shots they hit with the Marshall were insane. And we said they needed some kind of hero play. And I feel like we kind of got 3 hero plays all in one round, to be honest.
All I'm going to say, well, the Red Bull clutch, but more so...
Guys, it's a really nice 1v2. This is nice as well. He actually hits the second shot here as well. It's fast. And Boo did unbelievable as well. And then this, the instant wraparound was a sick idea as well. Dude, look at this alarm bot. Dude, he's so calm after he hits that fast shot.
That's the right click. That's the right click.
What about the left click? That was a left click. Well, the first one was the right click.
Okay, 2 hero guns.
Up close battle. I don't think he quite would have been right-clicking Alpha from there. Now,
well,
come through, 2
now Heretics have a weird...
Those players playing the pistols have a
They're in a weird situation because they kind of want to protect this
They'll put their
gun.
money on the line early on, not wanting to see that lead dissipate, not wanting to see Heretics 1 round away from them. They'll still have money for the next. Don't worry about that. It's not the biggest risk ever, but it gives them a huge...
Wait, what the hell is this wingman?
The opening pick already there is Kayak with another Alpha, returning with the classic onto Woot, and all of a sudden, this round that had little to speak about.
Yeah, and they picked up 2 more guns.
Just 2 rifles, now they've got 4. And there's only 2 rifles for Heretics, only 2 players left standing.
Crashy should have the kill, right?
He's managed to find a gap, but the trade was never going to not come
This
through
is
from
way
that
too much.
position. It now leaves Boo a gap to run through, but almost seeming like suicide if he was to try and get through that gap, knowing there's going to be somebody either to the left, to the right, or up above. And at the moment, it seems like the majority of them, the wall's at least giving him a gap to try and find around, but he's hoping for a fight. And just look at where Fnatic sit. They are all back, passive, waiting patiently for a single tap to come through. And guess what? Those salvos are online once again. Crashy's always so irritating in these scenarios that time is ever ticking, ever falling. And for Boo, I feel like at this stage,
They just didn't give him a chance, man. That's so rough.
Look where Crashy's has got to. He's just trying to stop him getting out of there, wants to remove that gun, and that's exactly what he'll
got the
do.
gun out of them as well. It's a great round from Fnatic. The first kill just kind of snowballs, really does. Dude, I feel like we're getting a masterclass of why Sage used to be a must pick on this map.
Bringing in 2 rifles, finding the opening pick, arming to the teeth. Alphayer, the man, top fragging, tied up.
Because even the Sage here was like really nice to wrap back sight as well. I know they got most of the kills already, but
maybe it's just a Turkish thing. Then again, I say that, but Chronicle was always very good with it.
Oh yeah, listen, you see,
he's Turkish with spirit.
Where are you going, bro?
And they did. It was Woot
oops.
going in to try to fight
well.
Kayak. Oh,
that's one of your
happens.
lineups, right?
Oh,
happens to the best of us.
It happened 1 time in ranked.
Oh no,
man.
sorry. It's one of Scott's.
Stop coming for the Irish, Tom. I don't like it. Scott would never co-sign that. In fact, I reckon he's already writing that down in his notebook. Double digits.
Gonna give him a stern high 5 after this game.
Yeah, it's gonna be Scott with Boaster and Chronicle with Wingman.
Crashies gets this orb, he gets his ult. Probably what they're looking at.
Double digits now, looking probable for Fnatic. And you got to say, Tom, great course correction after that. Little bit of a bump in the road in this half.
Yeah, a little bit. I'd say it was a big bump in the road, but then I guess somehow they've used it as a ramp. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Miniboo, he's been struggling this game, and just look at the amount of utility that's being put in. They knew exactly where he would land. And yeah, the hero.
Yeah, and it kind of worked out perfect. Crashy's got the first kill, and then Alpha can get the orbs, and now they got double orbs. So they can get the ult to push them back, and then they can also ult behind it to just make sure that no one can flood in and stop the plant if they want to. They could even just save it for the next big buy rounds. Dude, they ain't using that ult anymore.
Ready for the fight.
Dude, look at him, and Kayak's out here doing TikTok walls as well.
Put into play by Alpha here. Leaving Fnatic with double digits almost assuredly. The question was, would it be flawless? And in zone, we'll be sad to see it isn't. As Boo is the last one standing, picked off Chronicle.
They're really gonna 2-0 though.
Thrash online for the next round, double digits secured, and Team Heretics on that familiar scoreline.
I was so excited for Lotus because I was like, damn, this is gonna be a close map.
Ran away with it. Going back to Fracture, we may see the same again. 4 players alive. Big economy round as well for that attacking side.
10-6. A completely different story. We did not need a replay of him throwing that into the barrier.
That is cruel.
I've already been mean enough beforehand. Don't need to double down on it. Shout out Scott again for the lineup.
All right, listen, Tom. You're on thin ice now, man. You're on thin ice.
They're winning rounds, that's fine. 10-6.
Oh, what is this? That strat with the ult.
Heretics, but
Insta slow goes back a sight.
not a question if it's too little too late. Armageddon for Crashies. They've had so many set plays around this. Whoa. He tries to run away. Oh, it's damage.
Okay.
They even had a salva that goes behind. Rians is just trying to
Rians
dodge
did
every
good, though.
single piece of utility.
They didn't take too much space of it.
Twitter to prove like Valorant.
Dude, if they had an extra slow on this, oh my goodness.
It could be to play.
I actually think they should have slowed close, but I don't think they're thinking he's going to get orb, I'm not sure. Dude, look how much space they take with it as well. I did that. I wonder what the buy round diff has been. I feel like the buy round diff's been insane.
Giving up that control towards the B site. Boo and Benji look to
because
hang
it's
on
not
to
even
these
close.
And how quickly that round fell apart. And Tom, you're exactly right as well. It's not just the fact that you have this ult coming through, but behind it, you've then got a nano swarm.
Any timeouts left? They used them both in the
to block them in. I mean,
what, first 7 rounds, I think.
Pressure, and they struggle.
One gap.
The tiny gap. And immediately on the way back in, Fnatic, they're finding players trying to regain a spot to fight.
Would you have done a different map pick from Heretics? Nah, this, to be honest, Icebox looked like a freebie from what we saw.
The flood of that attack side wipes them clean from the
I wonder,
looks like they'll save their weapons.
I wonder if Heretics,
it's a small solace.
like if Heretics doesn't have a academy team, right? Because this would have been the most perfect thing where you have like an academy team and you can play against the Sage.
And if they don't get a kill from it, they're not going, oh! I guess there was just no one there. They're going, okay, there was a gap here and here, so we're going to now execute into those positions and make it more players who have managed to.
I'm telling you that their whole attack half struggle because of the Sage.
Play. And we talk about Heretics and these explosive compositions, the individual brilliance of players like
Was the first map good to watch?
And they have been really
not really. Fnatic kind of wrecked them like this as well.
Throughout this matchup so far, not been able to find that same value we've seen all season. Like you talk about Miniboo being the highest ACS player. Well, he hasn't been in this game. Boo, though, will at least start things off with an opening kick.
Dude, where's my Sage? Solo duel in there with Rez. So
that
good.
is 2 rifles, though, for Team Heretics. Boo has 1. Benji
CGN is their academy team. Or is in like that's who they're linked with. Affiliate team, I guess.
Dead to rights, good spam, good opportunity to recover a weapon. Boaster tries to be the thorn in the side, but they've abandoned that control. Heretics with a 3 versus 5 in their favor. 3 weapons as well to work with. This is all that they need. And I like this. Immediately you see Miniboo back off from that fight. He doesn't need to risk it.
CGN's busy though. Yeah, that's also the issue as well. Because they can actually qualify. So they're focusing on that. When you have like a academy team,
alarm bot, so even though it might look
I
like B is open for business,
when the main team needs you,
that's why Benji
I think
hasn't
you
gone
have
any further
to
forward.
come
Wanting to
running.
make sure he stays within range. This might roost them a little bit though. If that push-up will come in, they'll destroy the U2, and immediately, look at the rotation. Look how many people have just started running the other way. The problem is, how much time can be bought? Wu needs to just try and get one here.
No,
and he doesn't,
Sova ult though.
There's a Hunter's Fury on the other side, and that will do the
Oi,
job.
what a
That
Sova
will
ult
clear
this is,
everything
okay.
out. Most late flank while
And they
it's
can
too
pick up the
late.
guns.
Whoa, he almost
You
gets
can just leave and go
taken
pick up a
down
gun.
there by the Sheriff.
All
Rian's
that.
going back for more. He'll be dropped. Another point towards that Viper's pit, but another round for Team Heretics, pushing past that barrier of 6, somewhere they were kept on when it came to Fracture.
It was a series of Boaster Masterclass. It was a bit of a Sage Masterclass, I think, with some of the stuff that's going on. I think Heretics overfought it a little bit, but I also think you could see a lot of the prep that Fnatic had. They changed up a couple of things, for sure, and it looked
That was really
horrible
just
to
the
play
icing
against.
on the cake, the seasoning. The main dish, though, was that opening pick by Boo, was that fight inside of Tube and the rifle recovered, and then passive play, allowing that clock to run down.
Potentially.
oops, reached the end of his mouse mat.
Pace change. You see the orb is the main target. Trying to
You
continually
look
build
at this
up
heavy rotate right
the
now.
ultimates for the side of Fnatic. When you have that Thrash in play, there's a lot of space that can be taken. The thing is, though, you look over on the A side, it's just a solo defender in the form of Rians. The gamble has been made that they'll be able to get in, and a lot of that will come down to having this lockdown available for Benji Fishy. They are confident in the retake, so the only goal really for Rians is, okay, spot, see if you can find information. If you get a kill on the way, fantastic. But it seems like the rotation from the defensive side actually coming a little bit earlier. They have made that realization.
Monster on the loose.
Uh-oh.
Good job that they're playing that bit more passive. Thrash is on its way. It's
Oh,
caught
dude,
one, but
Miniboo's
Miniboo's
got to
down
do
below,
so
ready
much
to
here.
pounce. Boaster gets caught in mid as well. Really nicely played by
Dude, no
Heretics,
one pounced
covering
on
all
it?
their bases, defending
That's
the
a
man
little
that
bit
got caught by the
lucky.
Thrash. And now 3 players on site.
What
ready
happened?
For the battle. Fnatic
Why are they so
walking
slow
right
here?
in to the fray. I like Kayak's spot, but no one's giving him an angle. Oh, here we go. He's up and above. He's caught them in the ult. The trade
Imagine
comes in
it,
quick
though.
with
The play
Miniboo
was
shutting
huge.
That down. Alpha all alone. He's been sensational so far. Gets the opportunity for one,
Might
but with
actually get-
12
okay, he's dead.
seconds left. That plant has to be stuck at this time, and
Yeah,
the flank
I mean, Boo
indeed
just gets him,
should
right?
secure
Hello?
this round as he runs for that safe
Yeah,
spot.
this is going to be the first
It wasn't
Fnatic
so
timeout you're
safe
going to
for
see.
Boo around.
Yeah, you can forgive him for making the prediction that, okay, if they put that lockdown in, probably both players are going to come
You
from
have
the
a
same
friend
angle
that's
at the
saying
end
you're
and not have
Delulu
separate 1v1 duels.
They're saying the Boaster is the reason that
There was a
Crashies is
long
farming
flank that
this
came
year.
through from Boo, but a much better
In
round from them
comparison to when he was on
overall. They had a
NRG,
solid read
until
on
last
everything that
year's
was going on.
NRG, I
Benji, his
guess.
timing was
I
everything.
think
That was almost
vibes
full
are an
end to
important
right.
thing for
As
him
he
from what it
attempted
looks
to
like as well.
rotate
You
in,
want to be enjoying
ends up
every
being
day.
a
I think
pivotal factor. And although he
I
ends
don't
up
know,
being
man.
caught,
I don't
quick
think we can
reactions
ever
from
look
those
at.
players is
You talk about
enough. Fnatic,
2024
after losing a
NRG. I
couple
don't
in a
think we can
row,
ever
have
look at
made
that
the
team and
decision
take
now
anything
that,
from it, man.
okay,
It's just a
well, we
dysfunctional
need to
team.
try and slow this down. We do not want to allow Heretics to firstly get back into the game, but secondly build that momentum, start seeing those superstars that we have
But
done
yeah,
all
you
the way
could
through
you
the
could say
season.
that Boaster's a big difference because he's actually making this team functional.
It's time to get back on the
Whereas
horse
that
for
team
Fnatic.
was
2 in a row. Doesn't seem like much, but
dysfunctional.
we know what Heretics can do when given this kind of space. Now we're seeing them make those reads. The early aggression with the 2 rifles works out. The rotations that came into play there, perfect. as they
Anyone
were
that
ahead
plays
of the
him just
play.
plays better. I mean, he has really
See
good
the coaching
structure.
staff of Fnatic with a lot
Like
to say.
he knows how to
That's a
structure a
lot of
team.
holes to plug. But when it comes
He
to
knows how
these
to
two
structure a
boys,
team, and he
it's
knows
dangerous when they're given
he has
this
good
much
like
time to
mid
think.
rounding.
We'll see what Fnatic
It's also very nice when
make
you
as
have
an
like a
adjustment.
cooler that's so
The res
confident.
online, not much else for them, but they're competing against the old from Miniboo.
Like the vibes on this
Despite him
team,
having a quieter performance here on
especially
Icebox,
for
this
Crashies,
ult
the
has done a
vibes
lot
on this
for him
team
before.
are
Boo
probably
as
the
well,
most
having
polar
that
opposite you
Viper's
can
pit.
get from his
It's been a
2024
slow
NRG
half,
team.
But if he's playing inside his pit,
Like it looks like they have
it's
a
gonna be
lot of fun.
difficult
Where it
to
looked
root him
like
out of there
that
in the
NRG
worst of
team,
times.
dude, looked like they were having a horrible time.
In terms of win rate,
Like I imagine even just
retakes.
even before the results, like the day by day
where
practice must have felt so different
You can
vibes
see
wise.
the best of this
Very
Heretics
important.
squad. As I said, with the rounds they've played on the defense, a lot of the time it's been utter dominance. We've already started to witness them build back into this map a little bit. Still a long way to go. 2 rounds needed for Fnatic to close this series. 3 rounds just to level it up.
Locating targets.
For the attack. Bit of a slower pace. They were kind of
Yeah,
steamrolling
this
Heretics
is
in a lot of
interesting.
these early
Instead
rounds.
of being
So
like
now that there's a
multiple
little bit of
people
resistance,
taking map control,
back to the drawing
then
board.
going back, they're kind of pressuring like at a similar point, knowing that it takes Heretics a little bit longer to normally re-clear the question marks, I think. These were close enough to hear that util, so maybe they have to go a little bit faster. Yeah, you can definitely see the change of pace from Fnatic after the timeout. It's a lot more decisive on this one.
But they're a little slow to get that plant
It's
down,
literally
and
just
that's a
the comp
problem.
struggles to re-clear,
Heretics
so
have now rotated
once
back
they
to
create
that
the
early
pressure, they
lead.
know that
They've
they
got
have an
4
insta timing once the
players in
rotates
position,
come in. It's good,
ready
it's
to
a
take
good...
that space.
Dude, this is a hard after
I
plan.
believe by Miniboo.
Where they got Molly, Molly, Molly,
Viper's Kid
3 of
from the
them.
attack, though.
And then you're
That's
gonna have
be tough to
salvos
fight
at one
back
point.
through with Alpha instantly rezzed.
And you got to deal with the Viper
Try
ult.
and kill him off again. Alpha are actually now 1 away from the lockdown. He gets
There
a
goes
pick,
one
and
Molly.
that kill on Tim might actually end up
Still
helping
got
out.
Alpha's
Chronicle as
Molly.
well, just holding the line.
Still
Already.
got Crash,
They're
he's
trying to
gonna
get
have
an
his
action. I think
tail.
that Nanoswarm has
Oh,
missed his
okay,
blast
well.
off, but it doesn't matter.
Who
The
needs
Spaz
mollies
doesn't
when you've
work
just got that
anyway.
as well?
And
Everyone's
all
tanking
that
damage
remains
through
is
the ult.
He's landed a multitude of kills, looking for a little bit more, but it was too much to
Dude, this
ask.
is nice,
A
though.
1v5
This is a good timeout from the
absurd.
coaches. I like this a lot, though.
Unfortunately,
They really called
for
it
them,
well.
At least it's not to be, and this places Fnatic right onto map.
They
and
just strolled into the
series
A
point,
site for
more
free.
Importantly, a spot in their grand final.
Just 1 round away with 4 chances to close it out. Fnatic have come into this series looking clean on map number 1. That was their pick, but it was Heretics who chose to fight them here on Icebox. A big round from Boo, sure. A 3-piece put on the board without the use of his pit.
Okay, 4 goes at it, and now we change up and we go really, really fast on this one to try and force through the Viper. Alright, guys, you gotta cancel this. Guys, you gotta cancel this. I don't know what your original plan was, but it ain't gonna work.
Revenge can taste sweet.
Okay, now we get into some weird... The original plan was to then speed up and go fast over towards B, but maybe it was to try and catch off the Viper.
Right back into that grand final, but we know
But now they got to come up with something completely different. They got great ults though, and they can definitely do it. Marigold Milk with the tier 1, thank you so much for the 26 months, thank you for that. And Quarked as well for the 25 months, both of you. Long time, thank you so much for the Prime as well.
Team Liquid in form, and they did not come out of that lower bracket. Well,
with Teo out of meta,
in
what do you think
one
will
sense
happen
they
to the
did.
maps with solo Teo that was getting used?
trying to
To
get
open
aggressive,
for what people want to
trying
do,
to
man.
put some of that flair into
Double
play,
smokes,
but
double
not
initiator,
found
double
anything
duelist,
from it.
double
Still sticks
sorry,
around.
double sentinel. It's all pretty open. I would say most teams will lean into double sentinel, I think, from what I'm seeing. Just because I think the Vice Deadlock is too strong at the moment. Not necessarily as a combo, but Vice Deadlock, Cypher, like those 3 are in a really good spot at the moment.
And now the B site seems open, but they're not committing just to it. They've heard the steps up close. They know
Sounds
that there's
boring?
players
Yeah, it'll get a little
just
boring.
outside
You're not wrong.
and use the slow to get themselves into position.
But
The
there'll be
plant
other
with 12
comps that
seconds left,
will
the
be good
snake
against
bites
it.
a delay to give that bit more
Like
space,
double
but they
initiate is
need to
really good,
find
Care is really
some
strong at the
solid
moment.
ground to fight from. Towards Snowman is where they're looking, but there's plenty of players waiting. In goes the Armageddon. It's caught one. Rienz is down. Whoa, forced into the open.
I mean,
And now the round
maybe if
seems to be in
Boo can
Fnatic's
kill
favor. lot
a
of ground
couple.
to cover by Mini Boo, by Boo. The pit
Ah,
falls,
dude.
and they know where he's coming from.
Dude, they smashed them. They did smash them, man. It looked kind of easy. I think that the Heretics messed up too much.
Pass the test of Team Heretics with flying colors.
Yeah, in this case, Lightning does not